the humans have the problem, because the planet is not going to be habitable for humans anymore. We're going to make our planet inhabitable for ourselves. We as humans have the problem. So it's a really stupid thing that we ourselves are making our only planet, because we don't have others, inhabitable for the human race, for us. So it's really a complete nonsense, but as humans don't seem to be the most intelligent species out there. So maybe we will go on the wrong way, hopefully not. So my name is Alejandro Agag. I'm the founder and chairman of the ABB Formula E Championship, the electric car championship. And I'm also now the CEO and founder of something new called Extreme E. But to understand everything, I think we have to go back to the beginning, really make a little bit of the history of how I got here. In my early career, I used to like politics, so I went into politics when I was young. I did 13 years in politics. I did many different things. I was in the government in Spain. I was elected to Parliament. I was elected to the European Parliament. The last thing I did, I was member of the European Parliament and Secretary General of the European People's Party, the center-right coalition in Brussels and in Strasbourg. But at 31, I decided to change my career. I got married at the time and I decided to stop politics and to look for something new. I had a few friends in Formula 1, in motorsport, and they told me to join them, and we started doing some business around Formula 1. And it went really well. Television rights, sponsorship deals. I bought a team in GP2, what today is Formula 2. Look for drivers, bring drivers into Formula 1. I brought through my team many drivers into Formula 1. Some of them still are in Formula 1 today, like Sergio Perez or like Romain Grosjean. I had also Di Grassi, Petrov, Charles Pic, Van der Garde. Many drivers came through the ranks. So I was very happy in Formula 1. But more and more the sponsors, and also my personal belief, was that the environment was going to be more and more important, and that we were having a problem in motor racing. Motor racing was not perceived, maybe unfairly or fairly, but was not perceived as sustainable, was not perceived as green. People thought motor racing was polluting. People thought motor racing was bad for the planet. And that's a major problem. I thought we need to create a green version of motor racing, and that will be the race of the future. So that's how the seed in my head of Formula E started. Some years went by, the technology evolved, electric cars started to be capable of racing, and together with Jean Todt, the president of the FIA, we decided to create this new championship, Formula E, that today is the ABB Formula E Championship. And this was 7 years ago. After 2 years, we had the first race, and Formula E was like a baby in the beginning, trying to grow, but with a lot of challenges, and it was a tough path. But it succeeded. It passed year 1, then year 2, it started growing, and it became a little bit like a snowball, growing more and more and more. In the beginning, the car manufacturers were a little bit slow to come, but then Mahindra, the Indian car manufacturer, came. Renault was there. Audi started supporting. Then many others. Jaguar joined. BMW joined. Nissan joined. And now we see Mercedes, Porsche have also entered. So Formula E really took off. After a few years, we thought it was time for a new challenge. And the new challenge is almost like a sequel of Formula E, of the ABB Formula E Championship. And this is called now Extreme E. And we take the electric racing beyond. We go, like the name says, to the extreme, to the most extreme locations, to the most damaged and destroyed locations in the planet. It's not that we take some SUVs to a fantastic forest and destroy it. No, we go to where the forest is destroyed. We organize a race there to raise awareness, to bring our partners, and then we restore that forest, for example. Or we go to a beach, to a coastal area full of plastic, suffering for this plastic ocean pollution problem. We clean the whole area of plastic, and so on and so forth. This is the mission of Extreme E, to showcase electric cars, to show what electric cars can do in extreme conditions, 4x4 electric cars, SUVs, and to then have a positive legacy, to leave, we call it the race without a trace. You don't see that we've been there when we leave, but we fix and we restore whatever we can in that area to leave a positive legacy behind. So that was the project, that was the original idea. We launched 1 year ago, we announced we were going to do it 1 year ago. It's getting great momentum, lots of people are keen, lots of people are joining, lots of people want to help. And you know, it's super exciting. So the first race will happen in 14 months from now. We'll have 5 races every year. We have a ship that is going to take all these circuits around the world. We call it the Calypso of the 21st century, the Santa Elena. And it's going to be great. It's going to be a great adventure. We're going to do documentaries that we're going to show all what's behind the Extreme E, how we make it happen, all the ecological problems in those areas, the sports side, the drivers, their lives. But we're also going to have a live broadcasting part, so the actual end or the final part of the race will be broadcasted live, so the fans can enjoy those races, which are going to be really exciting in those really extreme locations with these incredible landscapes. But at the same time, people are going to be able to see what's going on in those places, how the ice is melting in the Arctic, how the forest is being cut in the Amazon or in other forests around the world, and so on and so forth. All these climate change challenges and pollution challenges that the planet faces. Many drivers, many big drivers have expressed interest in racing in Extreme E. Drivers like Seb Ogier, like Lucas Di Grassi, like André Lotterer, drivers that have won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, that have won the World Rally Championship. We're talking to some Formula One drivers also. Why? Because I think drivers see an opportunity for motorsport to make a positive contribution to the environment, to make a positive contribution to fighting climate change, to make a positive contribution to fight pollution in certain areas. So drivers, like everyone else, are now very concerned, very committed, very worried about problems of the climate. Some drivers, most of them I would say. And I think they see Extreme E as an opportunity to, through what they know what to do, which is to drive cars fast and to attract fans and to, you know, entertain all these big fan base, through that, do something positive for the environment. I think that's the opportunity that drivers see in something like Extreme E. That's why we're getting so many drivers interested in it. That's why we think the race will be amazing. These races are going to be very competitive. These cars have incredible power. They can go at 200 kilometers an hour off-road in the desert or in the sand or in the rocks. And there's going to be a great competition between the fantastic, really fantastic drivers around the world in those unique locations. I think that is a really special opportunity for the drivers. The technology for Extreme E and the roadmap of technology that we want to create around Extreme E is very similar to what we did with Formula-E, but for SUV, for off-road cars. But we're basically taking 2 Formula-E powertrains and put them together into one bigger car. So these cars are basically twice as powerful as a Formula-E car. Development of technology is going to be open for the powertrain, like we did in Formula-E. Battery is going to be the same for everyone. Powertrain, motor, inverter are going to be open, so this technology can evolve and then it can be used for the road cars. So we give this possibility to manufacturers to come into Extreme E and develop their own technology and apply it for the racing. There is one difference also with Formula-E. In Extreme E, we're also going to allow the manufacturers to change the shape of the car. The chassis is going to be the same, but the skin is going to be different. So they have the opportunity to make it look like one of the road cars that they sell to the general public. And I think that is going to help to link these SUVs to cars that people can buy the next day after they see the race in a car dealership. Extreme E has a team that is not purely a racing championship team. Our scope is much bigger than that. We think more than motorsport. Motorsport is at the heart, and we have a great team. Like I was talking about the drivers before. We have great team principals and so on, but we have a lot of wider view. We have filmmakers like Fisher Stevens, Oscar winner, that is going to be helping us with the whole creative aspect of Extreme E. We have scientists. The science part is really important. Sir David King, the chief scientist of the British government, is going to be leading our efforts in terms of scientific response to those challenges that we're going to face, and also scientific seal of approval of the places where we race. Those scientists, those experts, like Peter Walham, the biggest expert on Arctic ice cap, are going to come with us to those locations, certify that we are not doing any damage to the environment there, and then tell the story of what's going on and help us build the legacy that we want to leave behind on those areas. So the scientific part of the team is really important. Also, that part is going to be based on the ship. We had also at the launch of the championship the help of David Rothschild, for example, the explorer. We have explorers that are helping us to find the locations for the races. So yeah, the team is very wide, very diverse, and I think makes very unique and very special this Extreme E project. Actually, we didn't know what was going to happen when we would come to a country and approach the government and propose to have an Extreme E race. Because we go to a place and we want to highlight a problem. But the response has been fantastic, has been enthusiastic. Because we are discovering that these governments are also fighting the same problems that we fight. They don't want to hide the problems. They actually want help to solve those problems. And one example is Brazil. The Brazilian government since the beginning said, please come, anything you need, we will help you to put together this race, highlighting the deforestation problem, because we want to fight also deforestation. You can see in the press maybe other stories, ideas, but my experience is that experience. That's the only one I can tell about, is when I went there, they helped me and they were open about us coming. Greenland, they love it. Not many international events happen in Greenland. No international events happen in Greenland. We go there, we're going to make a contribution, we're going to make an investment there. They're really open about us going there. Nepal, same thing. Saudi Arabia, same thing. They want to plant millions of trees in Saudi Arabia. They have a big environmental operation there. They're promoting solar energy in Saudi Arabia, and so on and so forth. So we're seeing governments that you would think maybe they're not open to this kind of initiative. Is the opposite. They're enthusiastic, they're supporting us, and the reception for Extreme E from those governments has been fantastic. The soul of Extreme E is its legacy program. First, we call it a race without a trace. We go, we race, we leave, you don't see we've been there. No trace. But after that, the legacy is what we leave behind. And in every place, we have a different legacy, tailor-made for that location. Some places we can directly restore some areas. In the Amazon, we will reforest or restore the same amount of hectares over which we race every year. When we go to the Arctic, we cannot remake the Arctic ice cap, sadly. We cannot create ice. But we are going to help the Greenland government go from 65% to 100% renewable energy supply for their population, for example. When we go to a coastal area full of plastic, what we can do is clean miles and miles of beach from plastic. It's not a long-term solution. The plastic comes back because sadly it's in the sea, but at least we do something in that area to improve it, at least for a few months, and so on and so forth. Legacy is a key part of Extreme E. We don't leave any trace behind, but on top of it, we leave a positive legacy that also is a joint project with our sponsors, with our partners, with our teams, to leave this positive legacy behind Extreme E. The consequence of all the human activity it's having on the planet, on the atmosphere, and so on, is going to create a huge problem. But not for the planet. The planet is going to be okay. The humans have the problem, because the planet is not going to be habitable for humans anymore. We're going to make our planet inhabitable for ourselves. Humans, we have been in this planet for a very short time. Very short time. If you think the life of the planet is 1 year, we have been in the planet only a few minutes of the last day. So the planet doesn't care if we are not here. And the planet doesn't care to be 2 or 3 degrees hotter. It was 2 or 3 degrees hotter 3 million years ago when there were no humans. It was a lot hotter in some periods of its life, this planet. So the planet doesn't care. We as humans have the problem. So it's a really stupid thing that we ourselves are making our only planet, because we don't have others, inhabitable for the human race, for us. So it's really a complete nonsense, but us humans don't seem to be the most intelligent species out there. So maybe we will go on the wrong way. Hopefully not.